talking about anything because number one, no one's in here. Number two, my microphone is all the way over there. Let me go get that. Microphone would definitely help. All right. Testing, testing. Microphone check, microphone check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Sorry. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be fixed or not, but this is a VEO camera. Anybody that's tuning on knows exactly what it is, because why else would you look and search for a VEO camera? So most of the time, I'm listening to another stream, most of the time people just rip this USB and it's pretty easily fixable with a new port. And yeah, we could just, this one has a new port already. I'll show you. And the customer dropped this guy and made this. I don't know if you're aware, but there's a little sensor on this thing. Where is it? There's a little sensor, and when you drop them, that becomes red from clear. So this has been dropped. And the likelihood is it's not going to be able to be fixed. But it's such an expensive device that you kind of have to try. And Electro-Rep is pretty much the man when it comes to these cameras. And he's told me kind of what to do in this particular situation. So I'm going to try reballing. There's a chip underneath this thing. I think this is the NVIDIA module. And you kind of got to get this guy off first. And I think it's got to be fairly small. I haven't taken too many of these off, but the right tool definitely helps. So let's see if I could remember. There's a little thing I'm pressing in. And then there's one on this side. It's like two clips, basically. I don't think that's the right tool either. I got to find something narrow. Something I could tap it with. Somewhere along here. That's the one I just had in my hand. I have a bunch of dental picks. Most of the time I could find the right one. But not that this is the hardest part in the world, but this is what keeps the people out, I guess. I can't use this one either. I find one that's a little more straight. I think this one might do. These are kind of a pain in the butt. I need something. I forgot what I used last time, oddly enough. But they do clip these in pretty good. Let's see if I can get it. This is the point of the video that people would generally stop the video and then pull it off and be like, yeah, just like that. You get it off. This is a VEO3. You have to kind of look it up. It's a soccer camera. And to get it apart, like it came apart really easy, but to get this thing off is kind of a trick. And done it before, and I think I might have used a long flathead, but I can't remember what I used. So I'm trying different tools at this point to get in there. If you've seen it, it's very hard to see, but there's like a, it's almost like RAM. It's like basically a DIMM slot, right? So you basically have to press this in. Press this side's a pain in the butt to press in. Oop. This side you need something long and thin, and just to get in there, I wish I could show you, but it's I knew I'd be having problems with this, and I wish I could remember what I used the last time to get it off, but I can't. It's not like I could just go to YouTube and look at it. Maybe I used a pair of tweezers. It's possible. Look for my pair of tweezers. That would be nice. I just can't remember for the life of me. But I did get it off before. Forgot if it's got to go in or out. This little tab here. Gosh darn it. I think it's out. I think it's got to go out. But it's just so, I'm going to split this freaking tweezer apart just to get it in there. I don't know what else to use. This is too thick, I think. Then they got a fan connector in the way. It's almost like they don't want you to get in here. I think I might have it. Just getting this off is like most of the battle. If I could take this fan connector off, then I'd be able to see in there a lot better. But getting the fan connector off, all right, I got the fan connector off, so that's good. Now I just have to figure out which way this thing has to go. I'm pretty sure it's out. Is it out or in? I'm pretty sure it's out. I'm sure ElectroRep knows how to get this thing off pretty fast, but I am an amateur. There's like it's exactly like a ram stick. It's so, oh, there, I got it. All right, it goes out. Come on. Should have left it off last time I had it off. I don't know what to use. Oh yeah, Soren. I think Soren did do this, but I, for the life of me, can't remember what I used to get this thing off. I don't want to, obviously I don't want to cause damage. But I think it's just a clip. But getting both of them to unclip at the same time is It's like a impossibility. So it's also got to go out. It's like this thing is the once you figure out how to do it type of thing, I guess you'll never unforget. Except, well, actually, no, I did forget. So that's not true. Come on. I feel the springing. Getting both of them at the same time is very difficult. All right, there it goes. Jesus Christ. So basically, if you look at this thing, it's like a DIMM module, right? So you got to get these things to go out. But, you know, it's easier said than done when this whole thing is in the way. So, yeah. So I think this thing is called the NVIDIA module. And it's unlikely that I could fix this, but basically, I tried to reflow this chip here. I even left a little solder on it because I wasn't sure if it was going to work, and I was going to take it apart and clean it if it did, but never got around to it because it didn't work. So the idea is not to reflow this, but you got to reball this thing. So the problem with this unit is it's unable to display a preview. So it's like highly unlikely that I'm going to be able to fix this thing. This is what I've been told. So, it's got very little. It's a $1,200 camera, and it's got a little micron here. I guess a little micron on both sides, and this is basically an NVIDIA. It's like this is like the computer within the computer. So when these things fall, it's basically lights. I don't even know what happens to them, but apparently any number of things can happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy off, which is SanDisk, and see if I could, let me see what it looks like under the microscope. I am way zoomed in on this thing. I think this is what he's saying, the reball. You know, I think that's the idea, is to reball this SanDisk, but I don't know. It's got, to me, that's just storage. I don't know why that would matter. Because like this thing turns on, it lights up and everything. It goes ready, it connects to your app. Everything seems okay with it. But it doesn't have a preview. There's nothing I could really do to. There's no shorts or anything. It's all working. Just doesn't have. It's whatever controls the camera. Which I guess is that guy. You got on the reverse side, you got Nothing really to reball on the reverse side. There's your wireless card. There's your camera 1, camera 2, and they go to VEOs on the back. And if you flip this over on the back, seems like it goes to these guys, cam 1, cam 2. I don't know why. I don't know if reflowing, I don't know if taking that off and putting it back on is going to make much of a difference. But I don't know if it has an internal, if it recognizes the card or not, and that's why it doesn't show the camera. Maybe it has to go through the card and then show up on your phone. But like I said, most of the time it's just this guy goes bad, and put a new one of these on, and then you get paid by the customer and everybody's happy. But in this case, that didn't happen. So no, there's 2 cameras on this thing. I should have said that. There's actually 2 cameras on this. Each one of them has its own Lego connector, and I can't imagine that both cameras would go bad at the same time. And the Lego connectors, they don't seem bent or anything. Everything seems fine with them. It's got 2 little microphones. Basically, you got 2 cameras. It's got 2 of everything. So I don't know. I'm a little hesitant to just take that chip off for no reason, but I mean, it's not working now. It's not. I guess it's not going to harm anything, right? Take it off and reball it. It's really not going to hurt anything. I'm not doing anything else. I don't know what's under here. Seems like whatever's under here needs to be protected from heat. It's just so weird that after a fall, that's what happens to these things. So I guess it does make sense that something would need to be reballed. I mean, it could even be this thing. The DIMM slot itself is broken. Yeah. I mean, literally, it's very difficult. There's no real support for this camera. Whatever you know is going to be Electrolux is what, he's the guy. So I guess we're gonna take that off. As much as I hate to do it. Let's see. Try to get a good camera view here. A little overhead jammy. Turn on a light. Make sure it's good. Yeah, at least you can see my coffee cup, which is, you know. We'll take it off. Take it off. We'll probably use very low heat because I think this board is not that thick. So probably want to use low heat on it. Probably enough flux from me nudging it to be okay. Can't hurt to add more, I guess. Ain't nobody. Definitely don't want to melt this plastic, so I'm going to go away from it. I'm going to bring the heat into it instead of heating up the area right away. I'm going to try to go low air and try to save that. I don't want to melt that plastic. That's the worst. That would be the worst thing that happens. But I know I could get to it without getting the plastic because I did nudge it once already. It's starting to go now. Good old SanDisk. 128 gigs of storage. I can't probably see this being the issue. But it's literally the only thing to reball. So that's where I'm going to go with it. Waiting to nudge it. Once I nudge it, I know it's good. It's getting hot, I'll tell you that. I wish I had a nozzle for this thing. Alright, I'm nudging it now. And she's off. Let me get that solder off. Well, let me get some leaded on there while it's still hot. Where's my leaded solder? Leaded is on. Take the solder off. I can tell you right now, this thing is going to be a pain in the ass to hand reball. Which I think that's the only way I could do it, because that's the only thing I got. I love when it sticks to the, when the chip sticks to the thing here. Kind of annoying, but yeah, I don't know about hand reballing. This is going to be a nightmare. I can tell you that right now, just by looking at it. It's got a lot of little BGAs to cover. It sucks that you do all this and it's for nothing anyway, because, you know, you're really just taking a shot here, hoping something will work. It's better than nothing. It's such an expensive device that it's better than the company offers you, which is absolutely nothing. Company has no support whatsoever, you know. Which for an expense, I mean, you're telling people they'll go out and spend $1,300, $1,400, and then when it drops once, which it's going to, because, you know, It's on a, it's on a, it's on a tripod next to a moving ball. So it's going to happen. We got a little oxidation on one of the pins, so, and I guess that's a good sign. Means one of them wasn't making a connection, possibly. Scraping them off. Okay. Here you go. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Now, you see I have that oxidation on. A little bit on there. Not too bad. I got rid of it. I guess it's not going to be that bad to reball, but I don't even know what size to reball these things. I would assume 20 something, 20, 25, something like that, probably. The smallest I have here is 40, so I have to go in. And get some balls for that thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention to you. Yeah, they go really high up in the air. They're you know, they go probably 6 feet, 7 feet tripods, and you know, if you don't sandbag them or whatever, you probably end up with a broken camera. So, but I'll try it. I mean, there's no harm in trying to reball it. It's going to take not too much time, right? I'll do it over here where people can see, and should be good. I'm thinking the smallest I have is 0.20. No, 0.25 is the smallest I have. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 0.2. Smallest I have is 0.2. Let's see what that would look like. It might be too big. Let's see. I just want to get like one out. Come on. You ever try to get one out of these things? It's like, it's probably going to be 30 to come out at once when you try to get one out. Let's see. Okay, I got a few out there. Let's see what that looks like. You zoom in, see what that. Oh. So I think that's too small. Can probably go up to like 40, if that's the case. So definitely good to check, I guess. Right? I know 20 is definitely too small. I'm going to go up to 30 and see what that looks like. 0.3. See what that looks like. Oh, let me get rid of these guys. Go away. Go away. I wish I had some light here. There you go. 30 is definitely the move. So I haven't fluxed it yet, but yeah, I think 30 is the definite way to go. Actually, I guess I could go further than that even. But 30 just covers the ball, so I think 30 or 35 is going to be. Yeah, you see, we all think. I think 30 or 35. I don't know if you can see that even. I'm trying to make it so you can see it. 30 or 35? That's the question. That was 30. And 45 is going to be too big. I think, let's see what 35 looks like. I know it's a waste of balls, whatever, but I'd hate to do it and put the wrong size on it, you know? Let's get rid of these. Let's go down. Nice amount of reflection on there. There's a singular 35 ball. And I think this is going to be really difficult to do is what I think. But, especially without a holder or anything, but I think that's a good fit. Now, what do I do for a holder? That's the question. I could use this black thing here, possibly. Use that. I'll slide around too much. Could probably use some flux and stick it in place, right? Use some flux but I gotta move it off of that thing though. That's the only problem. I really wish I had a clamp. The only thing I have, I don't know if anything that looks like that, but I don't have a clamp, believe it or not. So that sucks. But I could use a piece of tape, I guess. Maybe. Use a piece of tape. And then put a piece of tape backwards. Just a thought. Let's see. Piece of tape that way. No, I don't think that's going to work too well. Let's see. Piece of tape here. Tape is good, but it's just as slippery as everything else. Even if I fold it and tape it to the thing here. I guess that's better than nothing. The only problem is it's going to have to move off the tape in order to be soldered. That's going to be terrible. I think I'm just going to have to freaking do it and worry about how to get it done later. Just do it right on here. I'll move it up to the ledge here. And see if I can find it. Just move it up to the ledge. And at least I have something to bounce off of, right? Get rid of those balls I tried earlier. Yeah, let's do that. Seems better than nothing. Seems like it'll work. Let me grab my flux, that nano flux. Get rid of the wood chips in it. And man, this thing is tiny. This thing is so tiny. All right. As good as I could get. Right there. Get some balls on that thing. Not exactly must-see TV or anything like that, but That's all I have today. It's what I have to do. So if you just want to sit back and watch somebody do trouble, watch somebody screw something up, you come to the right place. It's almost like too reflective, right? I should probably kill the reflectiveness of it. Go down to that. I want to see if these balls will actually make it to the right spot. Be nice. Let's try to center it up a little. That would be nice. I mean, these balls are so freaking tiny. It'd be nice if I had like a paste to it, right? You know what I do have? I have a sewing needle. That sewing needle sometimes works better than everything. No, it's bigger than the sewing needle is. That is something. I wonder what. I mean, I guess you could get a stencil for this, right? It's got to be around. It's a SanDisk stencil, if anybody's looking. This might take some time. I just thought about it. So I guess we'll tell a story. You know, one day I used to drive around all the time to, when I was a technician, a field technician, a long time ago. I used to drive around and, you know, eventually you'd have to go to the bathroom and whatnot. And I found a porta potty once, and it was freaking disgusting, but I had to go so bad. So, you know, I carefully placed all the toilet paper down, and I got it best I could to stay without syphilis, you know, basically. And yeah, I go to take a number two, and the water cleaner on my toilet paper and scrubbing with hand cleaner, and I thought I was gonna. I've never felt so. The burning that came from this hand cleaner was a disaster. Why is my computer making noises that way? Am I still on? I guess not. Maybe. Am I not on? Am I on? Yeah, I think I'm on. So, anywho's, it's just, that was one time I go into this porta potty on Route 80 in New Jersey, and I swear to God, it looked like somebody's ass exploded. It was terrible. There was duty literally everywhere, on the walls, on the thing. I couldn't go in that thing. That thing was too rough for me. But you get these places that, you know, if you're ever curious about where to eat, like when I was in New York City EMS in the fire department, I always, you know, you don't want to eat anywhere. You want to eat in a location that all the cops go to. And if you know the cops go to that, and you see police cars lined up on the outside, that's how you know where to go to eat, because that's probably a clean, safe place. If you chance it, you know, there's a lot of roaches and rats in New York City, and they carry a lot of diseases. So you probably don't want to chance it. So my advice would be, if you're going in a city, and you need somewhere to eat, just go where the cops go. You know, you see a long line of police cars out there, most likely safe. And that's my lesson for the day. That and get a SanDisk stencil. The amazing thing, like, I don't understand when people stream, they put the microphone like almost on their throat, and then they take these swigs of water that you can hear the water going down their throat. It's, oh, so bad. Give me a second. Dave's on branded. Dave speaking. How may I help you? Okay. Yeah. Do you ever have like an error, like a blue screen or anything, or you don't have anything like that? Yeah. Okay. So is the video card, I would assume, is, you know, I can't. I say probably the heat that's generated from these things is like unbelievable. Um, have you tried to keep it cool with like a laptop cooler or something, or anything like that on both on the video card too? Okay. Well, what is the video card in it that you got? Yeah, I mean 3070 is not exactly a heat generator. So, you know, in a laptop, I guess anything is, but I mean, they put 3090s in that, and they seem to be fine. So I doubt it's heat as well. It's probably just degradation, which, you know, when the silicon degrades, and you know, you just start getting random issues from laptops and things that get, you know, it happens to video cards too. It happens to processors. It happens to everything. It's just, yeah, sometimes it just happens a little more often. Again, I'm taking you don't have the warranty on it. Plus, a random shutdown is very difficult. I wouldn't be able to do anything about it because unless you could recreate, unless you could recreate it with some type of bench test or something, it's not right, right. I mean, you could if you're nuking while doing Windows, you could. I don't know why I just wiped my eye. I've lost my internet, everybody. That's fantastic. I believe I lost my internet. Just not sure how. Hello? Oh, no, I think I lost my internet in the middle of that call. Um, I mean, you could try a different SSD as well. Did you check the health of the SSD? Did you check any of that possibly? Right. Yeah. So I'm more of I'm more of an electronics repair person. So than like a you sound like you have a software issue, and I usually hand those over to Alex, and he's he's over in Mount Pocono. He's the Extreme Computing over in Mount Pocono. You could, or it's Extreme Systems, one of those. I don't know. It's the only one in Mount Pocono that's there. Um, but he could look at it. If there's no visible hardware issue, then he's a better person for the software stuff. So yeah, right. You know, but so when I say hardware, I mean like it doesn't work at all. You just you hit the power button, you get nothing. That type of thing. Um, that's what I mean by hardware. If it's just an SSD or he has the same stuff I have where you could run a couple of bench diagnostics and stuff and see, but he has more time to do that than I do. Um, yeah, I'm more in the realm of changing game. Like I'll do port repairs. I'll do just various things, capacitor issues or whatever. Like I said, if you try to turn it on and you get nothing, then definitely give me a ring. Or you need your connector ripped off, and that's what I do. All right, not a problem. Yeah, no problem. Anytime. All right. Thanks, man. I'll see you. Happy holidays. Bye. I guess y'all might be wondering why I just said that to that person. And truthfully, I didn't want to be bothered because that is an issue that is going to haunt me for the rest of my days. If I take that computer in, there's no way it's getting fixed. No one knows. He doesn't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's not like you, like I said, you hit the power button. There's no power. He has an issue where he's basically playing a game and it's stopping or it's resetting itself or whatever. But it's not something that, as a technician, you know, as a business, you definitely don't want to get into anything like that because it's just going to be a headache for you. And I'd rather do nothing than do that. Nothing is better because I know where that's going already. So I know where that's going to end up just as a headache. So I'm avoiding the headache. So here I'll just continue to reball a chip that is probably not going to work. But, you know, like I said, I'd rather do nothing than do that. So I will continue. I don't know what you heard of that. I don't know if you heard the phone call. I kind of lost internet halfway through. So I don't even know if I'm still on. I assume I am, but you just never know. Let me check. Am I still on? I mean, it says I am. Yeah, I guess I am. Trick is the only guy you'll spend 3 hours and not a. Yeah, exactly my point. And who's going to pay? The guy's going to pay me. I'm going to ask for $50, and then now I'm married to this machine because I'm not going to find the damn thing. I mean, I have some testing software and stuff that I could run it through, and I would do it for a family member. Just some random guy, I'm not going to do that. So, yeah, you're 100% right. You will not find anything. So the proper business decision on that one is to give it to the guy Alex that refers all the stuff. He refers all his port repairs and his PS5s and Xbox Series X. He refers to me. And even though I'm giving him a headache, it seems like I'm being nice and giving him a computer to repair. And he'll remember it. And he'll refer me. So I will get more out of not doing that than doing it. So that is a giant headache. Especially like if there's nothing coming up, like, oh, I have a computer that randomly shuts off. Well, yeah, I have a toilet bowl that I'd rather fill up than find an issue that randomly shuts off. I'd rather take a dump in a toilet bowl. Actually, I'd rather take $50 and throw it in the toilet bowl and flush it down the toilet than try to figure out why a computer randomly shuts off. Well, come on, bowl. What is the problem here? I got to start all over again. This ball's about to go bye-bye because it's not paying attention. It's not doing what I need it to do. That's one thing I can suggest. If you have a ball that's definitely not doing what you need to do, first of all, clean your needle. Secondly, sometimes you just got to step back and be like, maybe that ball doesn't want to be here. You know, it's got a little mind of its own. It doesn't want to be part of this repair, this ball. Especially if you put it in place and then all of a sudden it moves again. It's like, all right, it definitely doesn't want to be. Its little ball brain is saying, I don't want to be in this. I don't want any part to do with this chip. It's probably the one ball that would merge itself together with another ball while you're trying to heat it. So I think we're doing pretty good. We're not that far off, right? We're at least halfway done, I think. Or pretty damn close to being halfway done. I guess the biggest problem now would be getting more balls on this chip without making a gigantic mess. It's where like a little spoon or something would help right now. A little vacuum, a little eyedropper maybe. Come on, ball. Here we go. See, that one went into place all by itself. Oh, I just hit that. Just hit that ball. Come on, go into place. Get in your home. I'm going to read the chat in 2 seconds. Let's see what you, and the same if no power, other something. Right, so if you have a no power, at least you could say, all right, first of all, I'm not going to make it any worse. That's a, you know. Second of all, you have something to look for. There's no way that I could look for something. What did I use, 0.3 or 0.30? Yeah, 0.3, right? Okay, I got some in the cap here. Let me see if I can pour them out. Uh-oh. I just did what I thought I didn't want to do. Shit. See? That's what I didn't want to do. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. You either have enough balls on the damn thing to do it or you don't. Now I'm kind of in one of those situations where I'm just going to move everything down. Just going to move everything down to, or up. It's easy to do these things. I'll just move them up. Let me get my hands back. Here we go. That's a mess, isn't it? No. I had a nice something working, but now it's kind of messy. These middle ones are nice and easy. I wish they were all like this. That would be nice. All right. I think I've fixed what I needed to fix. Maybe this guy could come over a little bit, but let's see. They're all not going to be perfect. The flux is going to have to do some type of work. All right. Pretty much got to where I need to be now. I'm just going to move these guys down. Put you in place. I'm going to take this one. So you don't want random balls in your field because the random balls will almost definitely find its way down to the other balls and make your life a living hell. So while you're putting heat on it, all this stuff happens at the worst time. So it is a good thing not to have anything to do today. I'll probably end up getting a stencil if I get more of these VEO cameras in. VEO, not video. Apparently they're popular amongst the soccer crowd, especially if you have like a travel league or whatever. They like to use these cameras. So I don't know. I guess people spend a lot of money on their kids, sports, and I guess you could do football with this thing too. maybe, I don't know. American football, not, sorry, I didn't mean to use the word football. Uh, but I guess you could probably use this for a variety of sports. The first one that it was made for is soccer, and I guess it has some type of AI built into it. And I don't know too much about these because I would probably never spend the amount of money on something that's so fragile and has literally no support for my kids. I'd probably look into it and be like, yeah, a lot of people say it's getting knocked over, and you know, it's kind of fragile. And the only guy that fixes them is in the UK, and even he has like a pretty good amount that he can't fix. So I probably would look into that first. That's what I'm trying to say. My hand is kind of getting crampy. I know that's hard to believe, but maybe take a little break. Look at the chat, even though it's only Trick chatting. Maybe he said something. Imagine the guy was listening to me live stream. He's like, oh, it's nice. You'd rather let me flush money down the toilet than take my money in for a laptop that you're never going to be able to fix. Oh, freaking, I'd like to get the balls that I have on there now, but you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't park there, pal. Oh, how we doing? Live broadcasting, live stream. Yeah, I mean, shit. It's when they work. The thing is, you're putting this very expensive item on a tripod that's like 6 or 7 feet off the ground. Just seems like where balls are being kicked. Just seems like a recipe for disaster, you know? You're literally kicking balls down the sideline. I would shit every time somebody kicked a ball that was like in that vicinity. My heart would be sinking. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna hit it. I'll tell you, like kids, nowadays these parents, I don't know. It's either people have a tremendous amount of money or a tremendous amount of debt. Because I see some stuff being bought. Like these kids are walking around with $1,200 phones. Like that's no joke. You know, the poorest people among us have the best phones on the planet. And you know, it's nowadays it's not how much you make, it's how much you could afford to pay monthly. And it's just we're not going to survive. Eventually those bills will come due, right? So I decided a long time ago that I was not going to live that way. I wasn't going to live month to month. So I decided a long time ago not to just not be a slave to debt, basically. Anywho. And because when I moved out to Pennsylvania, I was living paycheck to paycheck and buying everything trying to, buy a new car every 4 or 5 years, and then rolling that new car debt after the 5th year into some new car debt. It's just a revolving credit. If you guys ever wanted to stop that, just buy used crap. You don't have to have the best of the best. Buy a car that some old person used. Oh, you want to know what? The WeatherTech floor mats. Any car that is for sale that has WeatherTech floor mats is probably in really good condition. Because some young kid is not buying WeatherTech floor kits. And also, when you go to buy a car, there's a few things. Anything with a speaker in the trunk, don't buy, right? Anything that has a visor like that says La Bamba or something, don't buy. Anything that's too sporty, owned by a young kid, don't buy. If you're looking for a car and your main purpose is to get out of debt, you want a car that's owned by an old person and has WeatherTech floor mats. It usually doesn't even matter the brand of the car, just whether or not it has WeatherTech floor mats. And for crying out loud, don't buy these cameras. Or don't buy them. Or if you have to buy them, look for better deals, I guess. Or I can't see having to buy, like, you could just probably put a cell phone on a. Why is it that cell phones are so damn versatile and unbreakable, but this thing can't be? It's pretty amazing to me that this thing is so fragile. So, anywho, I was just looking at the chat, make sure no one's wanting me. But WeatherTech, yeah, that's like the sign of a well-maintained car. Or if the guy says, changes his own oil and he knows exactly when the next oil change is due, it's usually a good sign too. I'm a firm believer in not really caring about the mileage as much as the maintenance on a car. Because I've had some cars that, real doozies that were not maintained, and you could pretty much guarantee that you're going to blow something before you pay for that car. My suggestion would just be buy anything that you could afford. Stop buying cars on finance. Stop supporting these freaking banks, man. These banks have had enough freaking support. It's like all we do is support banks now. Our main objective is to keep banks in business, to keep the money lenders solvent. This is the craziest thing in the world. Like, at one point, the banks were too big to fail, and we say, oh, we'll never let that happen until 10 years from now when we let it happen already. Every bank out there is too big to fail. and we're primed, and every single day there's something called a repo rate, and that repo rate gets paid a certain amount of money every single day gets paid to lend banks money to keep them solvent. And it happens without your say-so. If you look it up, it's called the repo rate. And every night, the U.S. federal government and other governments pay banks to lend money out. And without that, this entire economy would crash, because there's no way, especially at the current interest rate. Like, you think it's high now, it technically should be in the teens, the interest rate, and it's only like 5%. And to keep that interest rate artificially low, they print money and give it to the banks pretty much on a daily basis. So you think you know what's going on in the economy. You have no idea until you start looking at what really is going on. I feel like I feel like all I'm doing is screwing things up now. You just see my face while trying to do this. You'd probably laugh. It's like something like a... I feel like I'm almost done, you know. Not too many balls left. Then we get to watch them merge together. So, yeah, that's fun. I wish I had a straight pin. This pin is far from straight. I've picked up way too many balls on this pin. I'm going to clean them off. Yeah, I have a feeling that this probably will merge together, but I'm going to continue. You never know till you apply heat. I'm pretty cold. It's cold in this garage / shop. I wonder if that guy's going to call me and be like, hey, that customer you gave me, thanks, but no thanks. Or if he's going to be actually appreciative. That'd be funny. I love when people call you, they're like, yeah, do you fix this basic, oh my God, what did I just do? It's the equivalent of sneezing. Do you fix this insert cheap item here, you know? Like, why would I fix something that costs $30 new? Does that make sense? I gotta stop. My friggin' focus this thing in. I feel like now I have too little light. I see a problem already. Sometimes if you hold the, see if this thing was held properly, I'd be able to hold my two hands together and get less movement. But the problem is this thing, like if you hold your thumb, for example, like I'm doing right now, hands are a lot more stable, but the trouble is I got to hold the chip in place with my little pointer finger. And really is only leaving one hand to do this with. See, if I don't do that, then that happens. So, yep, sucks. I gotta hold it. I got to hold it. Like Joey when he reballs something, except without the audience. And not even, I didn't even watch that, to be honest with you. I kind of tuned out. Reballing something is definitely something you want to skip past. I can't imagine anybody's going to watch this replay. Skip ahead. I feel like that's all I could get. I'm like slightly off. I so much would rather use my my trinocular one than this one, or binocular one. Because it would be so much easier, but then no one would see what I'm doing. So there's that. So that's the only reason why I'm doing this that way. That's the problem. You don't know where you are as far as height goes with these. Like there's people that claim these are the best, whatever. But once you get a trinocular or a binocular, you'll never go back to these things. These cheap monocular. Does that make sense? This one wasn't even that cheap. It was like $200 at the time. The Tomlov, but it's you just don't have any idea where you are on the old scale of, depth perception. There's zero depth perception on these things. It's pretty much at the mercy of this thing. You kind of tap the bottom to see where you are, It's pretty much, you got no choice. Oh, come on, ball. Play ball with me. Yeah, you get it? Play ball. Play ball.